Hey there, friends! Welcome back. We're right in the middle of August 2025, and I have to tell you, this month is shaping up to be one of the busiest Social Security months we've seen in a while. If you've been feeling like every time you finally understand the rules, something changes again, you're not imagining it. Between shifted payment dates, new identity verification rules, ongoing overpayment recovery letters, and the continuing ripple effects from earlier policy changes, there's a lot to unpack. And here's the thing, none of this is happening in isolation. Each change affects how, when, or even if you get your money on time. So today we're breaking down exactly what's going on, why it matters to you, and most importantly, what you can do to avoid nasty surprises. So why does August feel so different this year? Well, for one, we've got multiple changes hitting at the same time. Payment schedules are shifting for some people. The SSA has permanently cut off certain phone-based services. New rules about overpayment collections are in effect, and we're still dealing with the aftermath of the WEP and GPO repeal earlier this year. On top of that, there's political debate over the so-called Trump accounts and the usual questions about how long the Social Security Trust Fund will last. That's a lot for any one month, and for many of you, these changes aren't just theoretical. They impact the money in your bank account, how you access services, and even how much you can spend this month without worrying about next month. Let's start with the one thing everybody cares about first. When is the money coming? If you're on SSI, you're going to see two payments this month, one on Friday, August 1st, and another on Friday, August 29th. That second payment is actually your September benefit sent early, because September 1st is Labor Day, and SSA doesn't send payments on federal holidays or weekends. The important thing to remember, you will not get an SSI payment in September, so budget accordingly. If you receive both SSI and Social Security benefits, and you started getting them before May 1997, you'll get both payments together on August 1st. If you get only Social Security benefits and you started after May 1997, your payment date depends on your birthday. If you get only Social Security benefits and you started after May 1997, your payment date depends on your birthday. Those with birthdays from the 1st through the 10th will receive their payment on Wednesday, August 13th. If your birthday falls between the 11th and the 20th, your payment will arrive on Wednesday, August 20th. And if your birthday is from the 21st through the end of the month, you'll get your payment on Wednesday, August 27th. And if you're on SSDI, you follow the same schedule as Social Security retirement benefits based on your birthday. Now, for VA benefits, most are paid on the first business day of the month. That means Friday, August 1st for this month's payment. If you also get SSA benefits, keep in mind the two agencies run their own schedules, so you might see deposits on different days. Direct deposit versus paper checks. If you're using direct deposit, your money should be in your account on the morning of your payment date, though some banks process it late in the day. If you're on Direct Express, it usually arrives overnight or early morning. Paper checks are still technically an option, but the SSA has been phasing them out for years, and if you still get one, it can take several days to arrive, and mail delays are real in some areas. If you rely on paper checks, you may want to switch now to avoid future problems. Getting two SSI payments in the same month might feel like a bonus, but remember the second one is an advance for next month. I've seen too many people spend both in August and then be stuck in September with nothing. The safest approach is to set aside that second payment and treat it like it's locked away until September starts. So that's the payment schedule for August 2025, pretty straightforward once you see it laid out, but it's easy to get caught off guard if you don't keep track. Next, we're going to talk about one of the biggest frustrations I've heard from you lately, the SSA's new rules for identity verification, and why you can't just call in to make certain changes anymore. One of the biggest frustrations I've been hearing from you this year is about the SSA's new identity verification policy. As of March 2025, the agency has officially stopped allowing certain changes and services to be handled over the phone, even if you've been doing them that way for years. The stated reason is security. Too many cases of fraud and stolen benefits tied to phone-based identity checks. What does this mean in practice? Well, if you want to change your direct deposit information request, a replacement Social Security card, or make certain address changes, you can no longer just call in. Instead, the SSA wants you to either log into your My Social Security account online or make an in-person appointment at your local field office. Now, I understand that for many of you, going online isn't as easy as it sounds. If you live in a rural area with poor internet access, if you're not comfortable with computers, or if mobility is a challenge, This change can feel like a brick wall. The SSA says they're trying to make field offices more accessible, but in reality, appointments can be weeks out, and walk-ins often mean hours of waiting. Practical tip: if online access is your best option, consider visiting your local library or community center. Many offer free computer access and staff who can help you navigate government websites. If you need to go in person, book your appointment early to avoid long delays. Let's talk about something that's been stressing a lot of people out: overpayment letters and the 50% clawback rule. If you've ever received one, you know they can be alarming. You owe the SSA thousands of dollars because you were overpaid. Sometimes the overpayment is due to changes in your income or resources. Sometimes it's an SSA error, but the end result is the same: they want the money back. As of April 25, 2025, a new rule limits the SSA to collecting no more than 50% of your monthly benefit to recover overpayments. That's a big change from before, when they could take 100% until the debt was cleared. This means if your monthly benefit is $1,000, the most they can withhold each month is $500. You still have the right to appeal an overpayment if you believe it's wrong, or request a waiver if you can't afford repayment. And here's a key point: during the appeal process, the SSA can't take the money out of your checks. But you have to respond quickly. The deadline is usually 60 days from the date on the letter. Practical tip: don't ignore the letter even if you think it's a mistake. Call the SSA, explain your situation, and submit the appeal or waiver request in writing. Keep copies of everything. Earlier this year, we saw WEP and GPO repeal the repeal of the Windfall Elimination Provision WEP and Government Pension Offset GPO. Two rules that reduced Social Security benefits for people who had pensions from jobs not covered by Social Security. This repeal is huge for retired teachers, police officers, firefighters, and other public sector workers. The SSA has been working through the backlog of recalculations and payments. Many people have already started seeing their increased benefits, and the agency expects to finish all adjustments by July 2025. They've estimated more than $17 billion will be paid out to about 3 million people over this process. If you think you were affected by WEP or GPO but haven't heard from the SSA, you should contact them. Some cases require manual review, and you don't want to be overlooked. And then there's the so-called Trump accounts. This is one of those topics where rumors have run wild on social media. Here are the facts: the program is set to create special government-backed savings accounts for children born between 2025 and 2028, with official rollout starting in July 2026. The accounts are intended to be seeded with an initial deposit from the government, and families may be able to contribute over time. What it is not an extra Social Security check for adults, and it is not replacing SSI, SSDI, or retirement benefits, at least not as currently written. Whether it passes through Congress exactly as proposed is still up in the air, and there will be months of debate before anything is finalized. If you see headlines claiming extra money for everyone this year, be skeptical. As of August 2025, there is no cash payment to adults from this program. So far, we've covered the changes you're most likely to feel directly in your wallet this month. But there's another layer to this story: the SSA's push to upgrade its technology, the ongoing challenges with service, and the long-term questions about whether the trust fund will last. That's what we're diving into next. The Social Security Administration has been talking for years about modernizing its systems, and in 2025, it feels like those changes are finally starting to roll out in visible ways. The agency has expanded the capabilities of its online services, added more secure login options, and updated some of the back-end systems that process claims and payments. These upgrades are meant to speed up applications, reduce processing errors, and cut down on fraud. In theory, it should mean that if you apply for benefits, request a replacement card, or report a change, it will all happen faster. In reality, the experience has been mixed. While some people have noticed shorter wait times for online requests, others have run into new problems, especially when trying to link old records with the upgraded systems. Field offices are still reporting long lines in certain parts of the country, and in rural areas the improvements are harder to access because of slow internet or lack of local resources. The SSA insists that over time these changes will make life easier for everyone, but the transition period is proving to be a test of patience for many. Beyond the immediate frustrations, there's a bigger question hanging over all of this: how long the Social Security Trust Fund can sustain current benefit levels. The latest official projections from earlier this year estimate that without changes, the retirement trust fund could face shortfalls by 2034, which is now less than a decade away. If that happens, benefits would not disappear, but they could be cut by about 20%. Policymakers continue to debate ways to fix the issue, from raising the payroll tax cap to adjusting the full retirement age, but no major reforms have been passed yet. For people currently on benefits, the message from experts is to stay informed and be prepared for the possibility of future changes. Practical to-do list for August. For this month, though, the focus is on what you can do to keep your finances steady. If you are receiving SSI and getting 2 payments in August, set aside the second one for September expenses to avoid a gap next month. Make sure your contact information is current with the SSA so that if there are updates or notices about your benefits, they reach you without delay. If you have been affected by the repeal of WEP or GPO, double-check your payment amount and follow up if you believe you are still being underpaid. And if you received an overpayment letter, act on it promptly to protect your rights. As we wrap up this month's update, remember that Social Security is a lifeline for millions of Americans, and staying on top of changes is one of the best ways to protect that lifeline. The rules, schedules, and even the systems themselves may keep shifting, but the more you understand what's happening, the more control you can have over your own situation. I know that for some of you, every change feels like one more hurdle to clear. But with accurate information, a bit of planning, and a willingness to adapt it is possible to navigate these changes without being caught off guard. That's all for August 2025. Keep an eye on your payment dates. Take care of any necessary paperwork early, and don't hesitate to reach out to trusted resources if you need help. And as always, share your own experiences in the comments, because someone else out there might be facing the exact same challenge you've just figured out how to solve.